In late February 2026, the United States launched Operation Epic Fury. The objective was straightforward: systematically dismantle Iran's decentralized air defense network. Within weeks, Pentagon leadership declared the mission a success. Officials asserted that American forces were flying essentially unopposed, with Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth noting that Iranian missile launches had dropped by 90%. But this graphic reveals a starkly different reality on the balance sheet. In just the first 3 weeks of fighting, the U.S. military lost roughly 20 aircraft, tallying nearly $4.8 billion in destroyed hardware. If the United States established air supremacy and Iranian air defenses are effectively flattened, how exactly is the military losing dozens of advanced aircraft? The answer means looking past the concept of traditional dogfights. Modern high-tech air power actually fails in 3 very distinct ways. The first failure mode is operational friction. Maintaining a 24/7 combat air patrol over thousands of miles creates immense logistical strain. Often, the greatest threat to an aircraft isn't an enemy missile, but the sheer chaos of the environment itself. On March 12th, 2 KC-135 refueling tankers collided mid-air in friendly airspace over western Iraq. The crash severely damaged one aircraft, destroyed the other, and claimed the lives of all 6 crew members on board. 10 days earlier, 3 U.S. F-15E Strike Eagles, the dual-role fighters shown here, were operating over Kuwait. During an active engagement with Iranian drones and missiles, Allied Kuwaiti air defenses mistakenly locked onto the American jets, shooting all 3 down. The crew survived, but the loss of nearly $250 million in hardware illustrates a grim reality. Exhaustion, miscommunication, and split-second miscalculations are inherent to high-tempo warfare, regardless of technological superiority. The second failure mode is asymmetric saturation. Recognizing they could not win a head-to-head fight in the sky, Iranian forces opted to target American jets while they were parked on the runway. Their primary target was Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. This facility was ostensibly protected by a multi-layered billion-dollar shield consisting of both Patriot and THAAD missile defense systems. Knowing the THAAD radar was damaged, they launched a swarm of slow-moving drones as bait, luring the remaining Patriot interceptors away. By occupying the grid with low-value targets, they created a momentary gap. Faster ballistic missiles then slipped straight through undetected. The strike hit the tarmac, heavily damaging several aerial refueling tankers and effectively destroying an E-3 Sentry AWACS. The AWACS is a $500 million airborne radar hub. It manages airspace and directs fighters to their targets. Taking it offline creates immediate blind spots across the theater. It proves that an expensive, sophisticated shield can be cracked with cheap, coordinated volume. The final failure mode involves the cornerstone of modern American air power. On March 19th, a stealth F-35 fighter was hit by ground fire while flying a mission over central Iran. Traditional stealth relies heavily on the physical shape of the aircraft. The sharp angles and specialized coatings on the F-35 deflect and absorb the radio waves used by standard early warning radar networks. But the jet is powered by a single, massive engine that generates an enormous amount of heat. Even if the airframe is invisible to radio frequencies, its thermal footprint is practically glowing in the sky. This schematic compares the 2 tracking methods. While the radar wave on the left fails to return a signal, the Iranian air defenses used an infrared search and track system. Paired with an anti-aircraft missile, they tracked the jet's temperature instead of its radar signature. The F-35 survived with damage, but the engagement established a new baseline. Being invisible to radar provides no defense against an adversary hunting by temperature. By military standards, Operation Epic Fury successfully devastated Iranian command infrastructure and severely degraded their defensive capabilities. The primary objectives were met, but the receipt for that air supremacy is steep. 20 lost or damaged aircraft and nearly $5 billion in hardware is a heavy toll for a 3-week campaign. Layered missile shields can be overwhelmed by disposable drone swarms. Stealth geometry can be bypassed with infrared heat sensors, and the sheer logistical weight of flying constant sorties guarantees catastrophic accidents. Adversaries do not need to build trillion-dollar fighters to shoot back. They only need to map out the rigid dependencies of American air power and find the asymmetric cracks in the armor.